and welcome to another episode of What Does This Button Do? It's episode number 128.
108.
108, that's what I said. It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. We want to make sure that you know where we are at geeksontour.com. And Chris has something to say about this Mrs. Geeks guide.
Well, I think everybody needs a copy of Google Photos book, the Mrs. Geeks Guide to Google Photos. And if you go to geeksontour.com/Google Photos book, you can sign up to get a free first chapter. And it also shows you the ways you can buy the whole book. But geeksontour.com, Google Photos book with the spaces.
That's great. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Jim, and here with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach.
And we have fun doing it.
We try. We think that the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So we came up with this weekly show when we decide on a topic each week to focus on and give a couple of tips. Then all of our content, our prepared videos and our ebooks and our show notes are on our website at geeksontour.com.
And we'll remind you about that throughout the show. Where are we now, Chris?
We're at home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and you went diving this week, and we ate good.
You like lobster, don't you?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So on today's show, I think we have a grab bag.
Oh, no,
that was last week's show. I thought you fixed this.
I thought I did, but the 1, 2, 3s are right.
Okay. Opening tip. Lost your phone? How to find it? A beginner's lesson. Chromecast from phone to the TV. And our closing app will be something from Google, trusted app, contacts.
I think we have a great show lined up today. This is cool.
This will be exciting because there's so much there. If you have questions during the live webcast right now, you can ask those in the
chat window.
We have a chat window on YouTube, and go ahead and do that. We appreciate those comments, and I'm going to do some other stuff there too. By Wednesday afternoon, we put these shows up on our website at thebuttonshow.com.
Special website just for these shows.
Just for the shows. And members, if you're a Geeks on Tour Premium member, you will get show notes too. Awesome benefit. And we do invite you to become a member at geeksontour.com. Just go to our website and click on the link that says Become a Member. You ready for your quick tip?
Yep.
Okay, lost your phone? Be prepared. And we did this once before, at least once, on episode 12.
Episode 12, but that was nearly 2 years ago.
Wow.
So I figured it bears repeating, and just in a quick tip. What if you lost your iPhone? You can't find it. Now, maybe it's just in the house somewhere.
Happens.
But maybe it's on the plane back to where you came from.
That would not be good.
It's important to have the setting turned on. And if the setting is turned on, then when you need it, you can find your phone by going to the website. So first, I want to show you where the setting is.
Okay.
And we're looking at my iPhone. And you go to your settings. And it's under iCloud. And it is Find My iPhone. Just make sure it's turned on. And actually, you may as well turn this one on too. If the battery dies, it will at least it'll send you the last known location, or the location when it died. Okay, so that's it. As long as that setting is on, then you can go to a computer anywhere. So let's say I now have lost my iPhone. I don't know where it is. I can go to any computer and go to iCloud.com and log in. And then it will tell me where my iPhone is.
Isn't that great?
It is. So find iPhone, and it's looking. But notice also one thing to be aware of. If you, like me, have more than one Apple device, make sure it's looking for the right one. So I have several here, and it is, just my iPhone, Chris's iPhone that I'm looking for. And look at there, it says it's like real close. But the things you can do, so if it says it's in the house, then you can click here to play a sound, and it'll ring. A sound was, so it's ringing, and oh, look at that. The phone is right here. And then just press the power button and the sound will go off. Then if it is not in the house, you can put it into lost mode, and I'll show you what the screen does. Enter a phone number where you can be reached. It will be shown on the screen. So if somebody finds it, they can call you. And erase iPhone, this is if you see that your phone is 500 miles away, somebody stole it, you can remotely erase it. So those are the three things. And I don't want to do it now, but I did take a screenshot. So this is what your phone would look like if somebody picked it up and you had turned on lost mode. Pretty cool.
That is very cool. I like that a lot.
The Android has the exact same feature. You do not need to buy a special app like some people think. It's part of your Google settings, and I will show you that. So on my Android phone, which happens to be a Samsung Galaxy S5, I go into my settings, and it's among the group called Personal, and then it is Security, and Phone Administrators. You just need to make sure that's checked. That's all. And you only do this once, and it's just leave it. Once it's checked, if you lose your phone, you can go to the web. And the website is something to do with Android Device Manager. And I never know if it's devicemanager.google.com or google.com. So I just search for Android Device Manager. Oops. And I've done this before, so it comes up in my auto. And there we go, google.com/Android/Device Manager. And once again, you need to be logged in to your account. And you get the same type of screen. Also, make sure it's looking for the right device. I have a few Android devices, and I have to know that the phone is the Samsung G90V. It locates it. I can ring it. And lo and behold, it's right here. I turn it off.
It's one of those magic boxes.
And it has the same thing. Lock is where you can change your password on the phone. So if somebody picks it up, you can give it a new password. You can type in a message. It's not limited to just saying this phone is lost. I mean, you could say this phone is lost, but what if you've been kidnapped or something?
I've been kidnapped.
You could say, help, I've been kidnapped. Yeah, call 911 and where your approximate location or something. So you get to choose the message that appears on the lock screen if it is found, and you also can erase it. So that is my tip of the week, is be prepared for the possibility of losing your phone. Turn on the setting, and then you can find it later.
Good tip. What's next? Okay. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/geeksontourtv. Cool stuff. There are a couple of ways of getting there too.
You can always just search for Geeks on Tour. You'll find it.
And if you can't, look harder. I got a couple of comments here, I think. Let's see. Is it worth it to get the Chromecast Ultra if I have the Chromecast 2? The Chromecast Ultra is $99, and it does the 4K highest resolution that most TVs now would have. And if you have one of those 4K TVs, then and you have enough bandwidth,
and you have plenty of internet bandwidth.
Plenty of bandwidth. That's the key to all of this stuff. Then yeah, I mean, I might think about doing that. Right now, our best TV is only 1080, so it's just high definition. I don't have the 4K TV yet. What else is there? Bill says we use the Roku app on a tablet. It's much better and faster than the remote that comes with the Roku. Roku is another casting device, and we're not talking, well, we'll talk about it, but we're not showing that here in today's show. All right.
And if you're viewing, you're just wondering, what is Chromecast? What is it? You're in the right place.
Hang on.
That's what we're going to be talking about.
Okay, great. We just did that, didn't we? That's going the other way.
Going the wrong way.
I think I'm going the wrong way. All right.
So the purpose of the beginner's lesson today is to introduce you to Chromecast. I mean, if you're not aware that it exists, you can't learn how to use it. So we're not going to be going into a whole lot of detail, but what it is, think of wanting to look at pictures, and your pictures are on your phone. It's not, I mean, they look great, but they're little. But if you then add the Chromecast, that's what this little button is, that is the casting button, and you have the TV, then you can be viewing that same picture like this.
That is just amazing.
It's so much better. And to show you this, we're venturing out this week, and we will be showing you our TV. So go ahead and
all right.
Go ahead and show. So this is a third camera that we've set up for the show, and you are looking at our living room, and that is the TV, a nice big screen, not super fancy, but it's certainly fancier than
it is a smart TV. It's a Vizio, and it does have some capability. So,
but what we're doing on this, so to try to explain, what are they looking at here? They're looking at our TV, but it's not showing television.
Right. The TV is connected to our Chromecast device. It's a standard $35 Chromecast. And one of the settings in the Google Home app, this is another piece of the puzzle. The Google Home app, you don't need the Google Home device, but the app is how you control your Chromecast now. And one of the choices is a screensaver, so you can show your choice of your albums or even your whole shoebox full of Google Photos, all of your library up on the screen. I choose only my best pictures in a few albums, and even shared albums works. So some of these pictures will be up there, and I'll have Chris's name on it too.
Yeah, so notice in the lower right-hand corner there, it says Photo by Jim Gould. These are our Google Photos. Now, so all I have to do is turn the TV on and I start seeing our photos?
Well, there's a couple of more pieces there. You can do it. You have to have the Chromecast device and a TV with an HDMI input. These things have to be on Wi-Fi. The Chromecast connects to your home Wi-Fi, and there's some steps to do it. You have to have a Google account and then a smartphone or a tablet with a Google Home app. You can even control parts of it with your computer. So the old style Chromecast is down there in the corner. I think you can see that. And there's a newer one that's more round, and it has a cable hanging off of it instead of being stuck directly into it.
Yeah, but they have more than one HDMI port on a TV.
Most TVs now come with multiple HDMI ports. You can also get an HDMI switching box if you really want to.
So you have to know how to tell your TV to be on the right HDMI port. I mean, if you plug the Chromecast into the HDMI 2, you will need to know how to, just turning on your TV isn't going to be showing your slideshow. You're going to tell it to go to HDMI 2. But then that's it. For this slideshow, you don't even need a phone in the picture, right?
No, it's just running. I don't have any device connected to it. We just have a device showing it.
So those photos are coming from the cloud.
Right. Through to my TV, and it makes it look like a huge digital photo frame.
Yeah. I love it. I do tend to leave the TV on all the time now, set to the HDMI port that the Chromecast is on so that the screensaver is active.
Cool.
All right. But now I do want to show you how you take what's on your phone and cast it to the TV.
As promised.
As promised, yes. We're going to do the iPhone demo, and then we're going to do an Android demo. And the slide that's showing on your screen now, any app that shows that square with the waves in the lower left-hand corner can cast. I'm going to show you Google Photos and then a YouTube or maybe a TED. And it can do music too. So if you have a music app, I mean, most of us, if you have a house anyway, rather than an RV, although I know some RVers that have some pretty fancy television sets in their RVs and surround sound, but you can just play music through the TV as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to the iPhone. And the first thing I want to show you Google Photos. So let's say that I just got back from a trip and I have some friends over for dinner and I want to show them these photos. You go to Google Photos and I'll go to an album. Yeah, our January album was pretty nice. And now I need to see that little Chromecast icon and I'm not seeing it. All right, here is the other thing that needs to be set, and that is you need to have Wi-Fi on, and you need to be on the same Wi-Fi network as the Chromecast that's plugged into the TV. In a house, that's normally a 1. So I turn Wi-Fi on. I know that it's Geeks PW2, and that is the default. It just connects. Now when I go back to my Google Photos and I open a photo, now I have that casting button. So as soon as I tap on that, then, and it says connect to device, you might have more than one Chromecast around.
How many of you have more than one?
So I'll bet a few of them.
I bet a few of them do.
So you have to tap on the name of the one. So this is the one that is in our living room. And now that Chromecast button turns blue. And Jim can switch over to to our living room camera. And there is that picture showing on the big screen. And now I have control. On my phone, I can just swipe to the next picture and the next picture. And and a video, same video works also.
Whee!
That was fun. And that's us at a campground. And where in here, there was a cool one of an alligator walking down the street. Here we go. That's here, Thousand Trails, Orlando. Alligator walking down the street. But instead of showing it to people just on my little phone, I can show it on the TV. Okay. So that's Google Photos. Now, let me make it clear that you have to have a Chromecast enabled app. So Google Photos is, but check out just the Apple Photos.
Oh, okay.
So on the same phone, I have some of the same pictures in Apple Photos, but there is no Chromecast casting icon here. Now, there are other ways. I mean, Apple has one too. It's called Apple TV, but the Apple Photos is not a Chromecast enabled app. But let's look. There are other things that are. So YouTube, for example. YouTube, I do see the little cast icon. So that means I can find, oh, look at that. There we are live.
Let's not do that.
No. Let's see. Jimmy Lyons, I thought I had it queued up. Maybe it's on the Android. There we go. So here on YouTube, I can tell it to cast to the TV and play. And now to see it, you have to look at the TV.
And this is one of the dives that I did with my buddy Jim down from New Jersey.
And we're hearing sound too.
That's coming through the TV. So it's kind of in the other room and it's not real.
Yeah, I don't think they can hear it. I wonder if I can turn it up at all.
Don't bother.
Okay.
There is music. They believe you. Wave to the camera. What a neat wreck that was, too. All right. I think that's enough.
Pretty cool. Okay.
Even though I love watching myself swim.
Okay, so that was YouTube. And then, so I will stop casting that. And now, and there are more apps. So the point being, you do have to have an app. It doesn't just cast whatever you have there. And YouTube Music or TED, or here's one that I've found called Daily Burn. So I can cast to the big screen TV a workout, an exercise. I think that's pretty cool. How are we doing? Now, how you control your devices then are with the Google Home app. So it's in the Google Home app here that we are now seeing that the Geeks on Tour Chromecast is back to playing our screensaver slideshow. And I can edit that backdrop if I want. If I would rather be seeing Facebook content, I can choose that. So the Google Home app is how you set this stuff up. And the individual apps using the Chromecast button is how you actually do. And if you want just music, I could play Pandora. And I could cast that. So as soon as I cast, the sound stops coming out of the phone and starts coming out of the TV. And you can just leave that playing all day.
And if you have it hooked up to a good sound system, it's really going to sound great.
Yeah, throughout
and if you
the
have
house.
one of those Google Home devices, you can cast directly to it. And it has a pretty good, it's a Bluetooth speaker, basically, but this is taking it from the cloud and your account and putting it all through there.
But now let's say that I'm upstairs and this music is playing downstairs and I have it blaring, it's blasting away, and I say, and I get a phone call and I need to turn it down. I can just use the phone in my hand and the Google Home app and tell it I want to control my devices. And it tells me that House of the Rising Sun is currently playing, and there's my volume, and I can turn it way down, or I can even just pause it so that it stops playing. So that is just an introduction to what is Chromecast. Now I want to go to the Android phone So I guess I better stop. No, I'm not. I can, if I just cast from the Android phone, it will stomp all over what's already there.
Okay.
Right? Pretty sure that's.
Pretty sure that's the case.
Pretty sure.
Okay, let's look at the TV. This is what's on there now. It says that it's paused.
And on my Android phone, I will go to my Google Photos. And I'll open up some photos. And once again, I don't have the casting button. Why not? Because I'm not connected to the same Wi-Fi that the Chromecast is connected to. So I have to do that. That's this side of the equation. Now, the other side of the equation is having your TV on and set to the proper HDMI, but we've just left it there. So I turn on Wi-Fi. It's automatically connecting to our household Wi-Fi. Now, when I go back to Google Photos, now I have the cast icon.
So that's key. If you don't see that cast icon, take a look at what network you're connected to. Make sure that you're on the same network.
Now, when it turns blue, it means it is casting.
And now we're looking at the TV in the other room. So here's Chris's Android device. And because it's all coming from Google Photos, she's looking at the same album that we were just doing on the iPhone. Cool.
All right. And the other thing that I do with this all the time is YouTube. And look at there. We could even watch ourselves.
Let's not do that now.
Well, that's not this one. That's last week's. That's last week's. Or we could pick one of our prepared videos.
Oops.
Yeah. Now, if I tap the cast button, and it will start casting to Chromecast, that's what I choose.
I'm looking at the TV again.
And what was the House of the Rising Sun stopped playing,
right.
And now YouTube is, because I told it to.
I think it's just the latest. It doesn't have anything to do with Android versus Apple.
No. Yeah, just the latest. All right. And that's from a previous show. And I will stop that. Stop casting. And the last thing.
And it goes back to the slideshow on the screen automatically.
Right.
So you can just leave your TV on. It's your big photo picture frame.
Yeah.
And just let it go. It's a bit distracting.
I could just sit at the couch and watch my photos. They look so good on the big screen.
They do. It's amazing.
I love it. So yeah, when nothing else is being cast, that screensaver basically comes on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is one more thing that you can do on the Android with Chromecast that you can't do on the iPhone. So let me show you that. So if you go into the Home app, it has to be the Home app. That used to be called the Chromecast app, right?
Right.
It's recently been renamed
and
to
that's
the Home app.
The same app on the Apple as it is on the Android.
And right here in the app, you can choose things to watch or listen to as well. Or you can get more apps.
And this is really getting full of more and more content.
Yeah. But what I want to show you is how you can screen mirror. Now, it's really only other teachers who are interested in this. Or if there's something on your phone that is not a Chromecast enabled app, on the Android, you have this choice of casting your screen. And now that means that anything I'm seeing on this screen, I'm seeing on the TV. Yeah, so there's my home screen. There's my second home screen. There's my settings. I mean, these are not Chromecast enabled apps. This is what they call screen mirroring. Whatever's on one screen is showing on the other.
And as Chris said, this is great for teachers to demonstrate.
Okay. So let's look at the slides and see if I left anything out.
Okay.
So how you do it. Number one, you have to have the Chromecast set up on your TV. And when we say Chromecast, we're talking that little device.
Right.
It needs to be plugged in. It needs to be online. And when you buy it, there's really good little instructions.
Yeah, there's a quick start. All you have to do is follow those simple directions and you'll be on before you know it.
Yeah, you just plug it in and it steps you through. You do have to have a mobile device. And as I've harped on, that mobile device needs to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network, to your household Wi-Fi. So you have to have a good Wi-Fi network.
Right.
And that network has to have good internet signal too, good bandwidth
stuff from the cloud
for this stuff to work. Then you make sure your TV is set to output to the correct HDMI port. Or input. Did I say that wrong? Okay. And we're not going to show how to do that because it's different for everybody's TV.
Yeah, you just have to have an available HDMI input. And if you don't have one, you'll either be swapping cables or you get one of those little switchers. They can be very handy.
Once it's set up and turned on, you find any app on your mobile device with that little icon, and you tap that and you can cast. And then the home app is for controlling the systems or changing settings or getting more apps.
All right.
You can also do this from the computer. And that's that would be a quick demo.
Can I give that?
So, but on a computer, a Chromecast enabled app is just your Chrome browser. So if I go to anywhere on my browser, you know, like I like watching Amazon Prime movies on the browser, and there is that cast. See up in the upper right-hand corner, there is the little casting icon. So I can watch this movie and cast it to the TV. However, if I'm on PowerPoint, there is no such icon. So on the computer, you can cast from the computer to the TV, but only from the Chrome browser. Or some other, that's the only app I know of, is the Chrome browser. So that's it. And where am I?
All right. Well, there are a couple of questions in here,
Okay.
comments. Excuse me. What's the difference between the Apple TV and the Chromecast besides price?
Well, Apple TV, it's a very similar thing. It's a very similar thing. It's a little device, plugs into HDMI. You tell your smartphone, you tell your iPhone
or your
to cast to it.
iPad.
You cannot use Apple TV with an Android.
Easily. There's probably a way now, a way to set up your Android to be a Apple sender.
We've tried it, haven't we?
And we've
So that's the main difference, is that Apple is for Apple.
Okay. Bill says, can we get the locate for car keys? Actually, have you seen those little
sticker tabs, little buttons?
And you can, and
there's another, what does this button do?
What is this button? All right, we're going to have to do that one. What do you think?
Those little buttons, do have a locator.
Something to do with Bluetooth. You have to be in the area, but yeah, you can find your keys or anything else that you attach that little tab to your purse. My purse, not yours. Okay. Hugh says the Chromecast Ultra also comes with Ethernet, which gives you the best performance for folks who need it. So if you have it close by your modem where it has an Ethernet cable, or you can get a cable to it, then that might give you better, more reliable connection. It's kind of crazy. Some of these new routers have higher speed on their Wi-Fi than they do through their Ethernet connections, especially if you're going through another switch. Anyway, that's Bill likes the song, loves House of the Rising Sun, and we know how old you are, man. Say hi to Karen. We need the Cast device before setting up Google Home, correct? Well, no, you can set up Google Home, but it's just using the Google. You only need it. I mean, there's a couple of reasons that you might want the app.
They want to show just what they're talking about.
Yeah, the Google Home. Oops.
The Google Home device is a separate speaker.
Right.
So you can control that with your Google Home app.
Yeah, you can cast to this. It's only a speaker,
sound.
it's sound, but you can also ask it questions, and it is okay Google enabled. So,
and you can't now if you have your Chromecast on your TV and everything working, you can ask that device to start playing a movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We haven't done that.
No, it gets crazy. Where are we now? On an iPhone, can you cast the home screen or only an app? On an iPhone, you can only cast an app.
You can, yeah. On an iPhone, you must have a Chromecast enabled app in order to cast using Chromecast. But with the Apple TV, you can screen mirror.
Okay. And is there a monthly charge for the Ultra Chromecast? No, not that I'm aware of. It's not a monthly charge. There could be some other things that you might cast that require a charge.
Yeah. So
like
Netflix, for example, a lot of people use this for Netflix, and you're paying monthly for that. But not for the casting itself.
Right. Anything else? I don't know.
We're good.
Okay. We do invite you to like us on Facebook. If you go to facebook.com/Geeks On Tour, or just search your Facebook page for Geeks On Tour, you'll get there and click like and that kind of stuff. Our app of the week this week, Google Trusted Contacts. This is something, in episode 84, we did an app called Glimpse, Glympse, and that is a way for people to stay in touch with one another, or for you to see where that other person is. And it has some other things that you can do with it. We turned it on, and it's something that the person has to agree to. And I have a couple of screenshots here. So the first one shows where I can see the map. I can also tell the app to stop sharing my location. Location Services uses your GPS, so it might use the battery up a little faster and the screens, but there's has to be some kind of internet connection too.
Yeah, so both of us installed the app, and I tapped the button that said, ask Jim to send me his location.
Right. And when I do that and I accept that location, it sends the location link to her, and it's active for 24 hours, or you can click stop anywhere, anytime. And this last screenshot is what I see on my notifications, so that it's up there in the notifications so that I know that I'm doing that. Very handy. So for location people, Chris knew when I was going to the store and I wasn't going somewhere where I shouldn't have been going.
Well, and I just want I want to know, when to get started, when to open the wine, when he was getting, so I could see how close he was getting.
All right, that's the way she is. Well, did you learn something? We have some questions for you. The Chromecast is a little $35 device that plugs into a TV's what port?
HDMI.
How do you spell that?
Now, what does it stand for, though?
High Definition Multimedia Interface, because it uses both audio and video across this special high-speed, high-resolution connection. The Chromecast in your mobile device must be connected to the same what?
Wi-Fi network.
Now, if you see the Chromecast icon, you can cast your screen. It looks like A, B, or C.
A.
All right.
In case you're interested, B is the Samsung screen mirroring icon, and C is the Apple TV icon.
Okay. Most TVs have several HDMI ports, especially the newer ones. When you click a Chromecast icon, your TV will automatically switch to the correct HDMI port. True or false?
False.
Probably.
Oh, really?
There are some that automatically switch whenever something becomes active.
Oh, like that switch that we don't like it doing that.
That does happen.
But generally, you need to know how on your TV to select the right HDMI port, and you need to know which port it is.
And our people are pretty smart. They can figure it out. Okay, only the Android, only the Android can use Chromecast to mirror its screen to the TV. The command to cast screen is found in what app?
Google Home.
The Google Home app. It used to be called Chromecast app. And if that's still on your phone or tablet, you need to get it updated. Viewing Google Photos as your TV screensaver is a setting in the Google Home app. From then on, the Googles will be displayed.
The photos will be displayed.
Whenever the TV is on. B, whenever the TV is on and set to Chromecast. Or C, whenever the TV is on, set to Chromecast HDMI, and nothing else is being cast.
Right. It's C. It is a screensaver.
So,
if Chromecast is on and working and nothing else is happening, then this slideshow comes on. It's wonderful.
yeah,
There we are in Cuba.
Yeah. Neat. Oh.
Outside our B&B.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Waiting for the bus. All right. So, Chris, what's the web page that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is Weekly Show.
And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is Blogs and News.
There's going to be a new newsletter coming out pretty quick.
Yeah, we hope.
Yeah, I got started on my piece. I just want you to know that. What are the benefits you get by joining Geeks on Tour?
Yeah, the complete learning library of our prepared tutorial videos. You can ask questions in our Q&A forum, and all the show notes for our What Does This Button Do shows, some discounts on products and services, and the full all of our ebooks, including the Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos.
Okay. I've lost my mouse. There we go. All right. Again, we do invite you to become a member at geeksontour.com. Just open up that page and click on the link that says Become a Member. Next week is not January 29th anymore. It's going to be
somebody didn't get to this slide.
I guess.
February 4th, and too bad, because we're going to have a special guest, Mike Wendland.
Oh, right.
Mike Wendland, and we haven't solidified it yet, but I think we're just going to be talking about which is better, Android or iPhone, because Mike has gone back and forth between both of them.
And we have.
As have we. So I think I'm looking forward to that conversation. And Mike Wendland, in case you don't know, runs a podcast called roadtrekking.com. He travels all over the country in a small camper van, and he is a techie.
And we like him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week, we'll post notification of this show on Wednesday for everybody else at thebuttonshow.com, including the show notes for premium members. Watch for the notification for our next show. Let us know you're watching and leave any comments there. And we'll let you go. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour.
And I'll bet you we push a lot more buttons than you do. Just keep pushing those buttons. You're bound to find out something new.
All right.
Oh, what does this button do?
Don't touch that button.
How about this one?
See you next week.